Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Let's get ready to rumble. Futures are down bad, baby. Ooh, ooh. Get me excited. Well, they're starting to recover. Still not looking too hot, though. Still not looking all too hot. Gotta say. How we doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Futures not looking so hot. Beautiful people, you guys are much hotter than the futures right now. No como. What? No homo. How we doing? How are we doing? Ooga boogity baby. Let's go. Let's go. It is getting a little spicy in here. It's getting a little hot. It's getting a little hot. What's up, Big Blue CNC? Chillin', killin'. Woo. My prediction tomorrow. Are you sure you want to hear it? I mean, I said last night that if we break that $25 level, if we retest that, then we could go down to 23. The way the futures look right now, they have started to recover. Like 10 minutes ago, we were down 0.5% on the NASDAQ. Quite substantial. I would imagine that we do go down a little bit, but then again, we could recover throughout the day. It's going to get very interesting. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Volatility is opportunity. You know, you could sell puts on AMC. You could do all kinds of things. What's your prediction for tomorrow? That's what's really important. What do you guys think is going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month? Shit, next year. You think dilution's coming? Oh, man. I do not think dilution is coming. Who knows, though? I've been wrong before. But that move to $23 would not surprise me right now. Honestly, wouldn't mind picking up some more shares, to be honest. The MACD is still bullish, if you want good news. Slightly. Little bit. It's hanging in there. And I mean, I think that shows a decent amount of strength overall, that the MACD is still bullish. Like, you would not expect that, but 4 hour, a little bit different. The 4 hours looking not so hot. But we did find a lot of stability around $25. We only hit $24.64. I've got conviction, brother. Whenever she stops, I scoop. Perfect chance to increase my position. Exactly. And if you really have conviction, then nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? People that comment on all these videos. Jeez, some people just need to chillax. AMC should go up if market goes down, right? That would be the negative beta argument. It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Some days it does act like a negative beta. Some days it just doesn't. Like, I feel like there's no set correlation. Sometimes you'll go through a couple days or whatever and it will, but it's really going to be in that secular rotation. Like, even if the NASDAQ is down, you know, that doesn't mean that AMC is going to be down too, which that's the index that it mostly follows, I feel like. I mean, the Russell 2000 over the past 2 days we've not followed that whatsoever, but today, we definitely followed the NASDAQ. When do you think the Evergrande situation will start to affect our markets? Probably second half of 2022, because big companies like that take a while to actually, go through their money, start to really get in a bankruptcy type situation. That's like COVID. Nobody cares about COVID until there's lockdowns. Then everybody starts to care. Same thing with Evergrande. Nobody cares if they start missing payments. They're only going to care once they actually go bankrupt. Nothing this stock does surprises me, exactly. Honestly. I would be surprised if we do go under 20 in a substantial way. That would definitely surprise me. What's up, people? Tyler, what's up, my homie? What's going on, Simon? How are we doing today? Hope we're doing good. Tomorrow, buckle down the hatches. Just bought one more share, $25. Never looked so good. Exactly. I mean, institutions, we love them, we hate them, but they are, and I need to get off Fintel because I don't follow what the information they were putting out, but I have not yet. I'll save myself some money in the process, but I mean, they've been buying so much AMC during this whole sell-off. So, if even some of the hedge funds are going long at such a rapid rate, I mean, you're going to see a bounce. And hedge funds, they're losing their ass. Majority speaking, they're down quite substantially in November and December. So it's going to be good. January 19, 2021, eggs as a holder, still holding. You will never lose if you don't sell. Exactly. You don't realize losses till you sell. Yo, what's up, brother? Dan the man. The man in the house. Right. Hey, Tyler, what's your thoughts on January 21st SPY and IWM insane call open interest and the TLT put open interest? Someone knows something. Probably. I mean, everybody with money knows, what's going to happen before us. And I mean, I still expect a rotation into a lot of the stocks that we're invested in. Like, a lot of us just own AMC, but like some of my portfolios were down like 7% today. At the lowest point, we're down like 8%. And they're not all risky stocks, like super risky, not like penny stocks. I couldn't imagine. So yeah, I think that is telling you something. But that's interesting with TLT puts. That would be like signifying, getting back to normal. The rates would be going up, which, if you think about TLT in the sense of an investor, they're not going to buy, they're not going to hold on to bonds when inflation's 5% and a bond is only yielding 1.6%. But that can get really complicated. There can be a lot of reasons shit happens, but I'm doing bad, brother. I caught a freaking virus, but I'm okay just taking vitamin C and Advil. Damn. Oh, man. I had it in August. It was not fun. Get well, though. Take care of yourself. My mom actually has it right now. Not good. I got a 2K bonus this week. So stoked to hopefully buy some more AMC. 2K bonus. There you go. That's what I like to hear. I hope we dip into 23. Then I'll be watching to buy 200 shares. Yeah, I mean, you can always sell like a $20 put, if that's a route you guys wanted to take, or you could just buy the stock too. Because if you sell a put, it's not buying a put, it's selling a put. The IWM is shorted, 36.8% as well. Do you think this will be a catalyst to help with our MOAS? You have to do some digging in Bloomberg to find the flow of the IWM, but the math is there. Yeah, I covered it in a video probably 2 weeks ago, like at the bottom points. And it was like 49.5% shorted then. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it's still, 36.8%. In theory, it should. But we're getting blatant manipulation. You're seeing the IWM just yesterday was up like 1.5%, I believe we closed, and AMC was down a whole hell of a lot more than that. That doesn't make sense. Especially with the low volume, like you would expect the IWM purchases to affect the stock in some way. At least be more neutral or more aligned with what happened with IWM. So it's really interesting. Tyler, are you East Coast or West Coast? Middle. Michigan. So kind of East Coast. Kind of just up there. Just say Canadian. I'm kind of Canada, but not Canada. I got COVID 3 weeks ago after going to Cabo. Jeez. Yeah, it's getting tough out there. I mean, as long as they don't talk about lockdowns, the market should be good. But I do also think that's possibly a reason why the markets are selling off right now. Possibly. It's really hard to tell when there's different things going on, but Peloton is 0.53 with an estimate of $5 this year. Jeez. That would be nice. That's a 10x. Thanks, brother. As of now, only have fever. I don't even know because I didn't get tested. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you have to wait in line for hours. Hours to get tested. Hey, apes, we thinking market crash first or leg up first? I mean, I don't see anything that justifies a crash. Like, honestly, I don't see where it's coming from. There's obviously a lot of debt, but it's not to the point of like 2008 where people can't service their debt. Financial bankruptcies at almost all-time lows, defaults at almost all-time lows. Inflation, sure, we've known about that for a long time. COVID, sure, we've known about that for a long time. There really has to be a new event that comes out to really see a substantial market crash, like a black swan. Like COVID dropped the market like 35%. That was the most exciting time of being an investor ever. The markets had dropped 7%. We got halted. They dropped another, I believe it's 15% or 12%. We were close to a second halt. Didn't actually happen, though. So exciting. I am not positioned for the downside, though, honestly. To be honest with you guys, I would get caught. I would have to hedge out. Sadie! My first AMC play was selling at $2, put back in January, then proceeded to make 22,000% on $5 to $6 calls when it went to 20. There you go. Those are the big gains with options that can change your life. Honest to God. Can change your life. Credit Suisse is shutting down hedge fund division. I seen the article on Twitter. Ooh, tag me in it or what's your Twitter? Because I will definitely check. Well, I could probably Google it, honestly, to be honest with you. Huh. Yeah. That is correct, it looks like. Credit Suisse to lay off New York employees as it shuts down hedge fund division. I mean, dude, they're getting clapped. And I got to subscribe for $1. Why you want my dollar? Cranes, New York? I don't even know you. You want my dollar. That's interesting. That is really interesting. And of course, that's the only article, huh? Oh, here's one from November 4th. Yeah, things like this, though, take a while to actually wind down. Yep, look at that. The Switzerland headquartered group's investment banking division will exit most of its prime services operations by January 2022, cutting the investment bank's division capital by some US $3 billion or 25%, with some billion deployed to its wealth management operations. That's interesting. They are just collapsed. Thanks, Tyler. You are the man. Mad props to you. Background story too. Respect, brother. I didn't even see her comment, but yeah, appreciate you. I mean, I wanted to, tell you guys my story. I wasn't gonna put that video out. Like just wasn't going to. I don't know why. I just didn't know about it. But yeah, I know everybody's got a sad story, but the moral of that story is you could do whatever you want at any age. It doesn't matter. I think AMC is a good step in the right direction, but certainly not your last destination. Because, I mean, if you are still here, you must have some kind of love for the stock market. It's not all terrible and manipulated. It's just AMC. And some other, penny stocks and pink sheets and stuff. I stay away from that, though. Cryptos. Puts for Hood then. I mean, I was shorting Hood like months ago. And if I would have kept that short position open, I would have made a ton of money, like thousands of dollars per contract. But I didn't. At this stage, I probably wouldn't. Maybe short term. I love shorting Robinhood, though. And I did pending my $500 deposit into Webull. So I don't know if I'll be able to start the trading account until then, but hopefully in a day or two it should be good. Yeah, like I was shorting Robinhood in the 40s. So like to short it at 17, I mean risk to reward probably not worth it, to be honest. Love your videos. Well, we love you, Carla. And if you're a female, we love you even more because there is not enough females in investing. And you are damn near one of a kind. I have shares with Robinhood back in June, but I also have other brokers. Hopefully Robinhood doesn't screw us, LOL. Yeah, I mean, Robinhood, if they did this now, oh my God. Imagine if they did that now. They would be done. They would be done. Like, even how it is right now, I would never invest in Robinhood because they did that. They need to capture all of the new investors because people will start on Robinhood, they'll make other brokerages, and then they'll stop using Robinhood as much. So they're already financially screwed, in my personal opinion. They have way too much debt. Last quarter, they lost like $1.3 billion. Everybody was selling their shares as soon as the lockup period was done. There's so many things. The risk to payment for order flow, not a good business in my opinion. Come y'all for this man some likes. Yeah, like the video. I usually don't ask you guys to, but if you want to, like the video. Chances are they haven't bought your actual shares. True. I mean, I feel like everybody's just like, there's shares just floating around out there and they just pass them back and forth. Whoever wants to sell gets the shares. Whoever's holding, they just lend out your shares to people who want to sell. That's where the situation is ultimately, in my opinion, going to be a really big problem for everybody involved. Because, I mean, when you're squeezed and you can't find shares, the only way for it to go is up. For the codes were based on GME. Calls for Hood during the squeeze. I personally wouldn't do calls on Hood. It could be a good trade at this point, when it does bounce, but it's more personal with me, so I really wouldn't listen to me per se. I'm just not a fan of Robinhood at all. Not at all. Based on Jimmy's codes, possible FTDs. Yeah, I've seen that situation about the crazy FTDs on AMC, like 400,000. And that's just furthermore proof that it's super manipulated. Those two. AMC, hey, I have 4,500. But yeah, waiting for the big squeeze, baby. Let's go. Shout out to you. Hell no, to Robin Hood. If you give those crooks money, then you're screwing yourself. Yeah, I mean, if things don't turn around for Robinhood, I haven't even seen their recent numbers of like downloads to Robinhood, but they were down 73%. Like, a lot of people say that retail investors like left the market, and if I were to throw a random number out there, I think over 50% of people that got in 2020 and 2021 are still here. They just don't use Robinhood. And the new ones don't use Robinhood because they've heard stories, people talk, just not good for them. Agree. Just want to make money where I can. Yeah, that's the best way to be, you know. AMC is my largest position, not in one single portfolio, but in all of them collectively. Some has more, some has less. But I have a lot of other investments too. Lucid, I'm up like 100% on Lucid still, even after they've been getting crushed. SoFi, PayPal, Affirm, stocks like that. I'm just, you know, long-term investor though. I just buy it and I just don't do anything with it. I don't hardly look at it, nothing. Do you think AMC will reach 50 by May? Oh, certainly. Certainly. Definitely. 50 by May. I think 60 by January or February. Once we do get that bullish activity coming back, because I'm honestly, you know, I knew the first couple days of the year was going to be slower, but to see the markets acting this way, it just doesn't make sense. Because why wouldn't you have sold your stock last year to take the tax write-off? You know, and then I have my whole theory about like the second half of 2022, I think is going to be really bad. Unless they print more money, give out more stimulus. All stimulus is coming to an end. Like, there's no more stimulus. People are going to run through their tax returns really fast. If we don't get that tax credit rolling again, if you see people have to start paying unemployment back again, if you see all these things coming into effect, and then the Fed's probably going to act too fast and raise rates, all of that together, I think you're looking at some downside the second half of the year. That's why I was expecting, and I still am, like the first half of the year to be bullish. I think January and February, because that makes more sense, the January affect all of that, but I mean, there's always a chance I could be wrong. It's better to be late than wrong, especially when you're playing like big money trades, trying to hit the downside, because you can make a lot of money catching the downside, but, you know. So is there a bullish thesis for this week? I do think there's a bullish thesis for this week. I mean, we haven't totally dissolved the inverse head and shoulders until we get down to, you know, 23. Even under that, like, you could still make the case that it's not all bearish, but it's definitely started to be skewed towards the bearish side. But there still is a bullish case, you know. Does their value directly affect their user account values? For Hood. Does their value directly affect their user account values? No, that would be like assets under management. So no, their value, like if people stop trading on Robinhood, they start pulling their money out. That's really affects their value. So that's been happening. So they're in the dumps. That will be amazing. Yep. I've been tracking funds that correlate to the repo market. Been fun scalps on their crime. Those random stocks that run XX. The morning is due to the overnight repurchase. Interesting. Yeah, that's some cool stuff. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities like that. Arbitrage opportunities. If you put in the work, you can be rewarded nicely. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, brother. They want the stock down to $15. Kills all the in the money calls. Yeah, they definitely want to knock us down. I mean, we have so much calls that are just out of the money. Well, last time I looked, they were out of the money. We have just out of the money. We have fallen. So I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. But yeah, for January 21st, 500,000 calls that are out of the money. That's potentially 50 million shares that would have to be bought. Even if 20, 30, 40% of them went into the money, they're looking at a tough situation. And 108,000 that are already in the money. They want to beat it down as much as possible. I really want to look at January 21st. see. You got to get to the 30, 35, and really the $40 strike has all the activity. Almost 60,000. Like the live stream. Yeah, like the live stream. Show some love. Do you think we are going to see the reversal soon, or do you think that we are still heading lower? I mean, I think we could head lower, but I think like $20, it's going to be really hard to see a big move under that. So I do think, we're likely halfway through potential downside right now. If I were to just totally speculate. Be nice when we leave this downtrend. It's been months now. Yeah. Patience does pay, though. I mean, not financial advice or anything, but my personal experience, if you're down on a stock, it's and you don't want to add to your position, just start buying other things. That's what I personally done. And then eventually it'll, I don't think I've ever had I've had stocks that did like, I bought too high and they've never come back up before, but that's mostly like penny stocks. Unless you just get really unlucky and buy the wrong stock at the wrong time. I don't think AMC is that case, though. Yeah, what does it matter? AMC is just still not going to cover them yet. AMC is just boring now. Yeah, and I mean, until it's not, it could change really fast. Shit, I hope it does. I hope for 20 so I can buy more cheap. Yeah, $20 would be nice. That would give a lot of people a nice average. And I mean, especially once AMC does start producing a profit, which I think in 2022, I don't think there's any way they don't post at least a small profit. I would be surprised if they didn't, but do we have a greater chance of hitting 20 by Friday or 30? I mean, this today going on Wednesday. I got to look at the date. Yeah, we're going on Wednesday. I mean, it's cutting it down to the wire. I honestly think you probably have a better chance of bouncing back up to about 30 just because I think it's going to be really hard to get us down to 20 without any big developments happening with the markets. If like there's no reason, in my opinion, this should be happening at all. Market fear equals buy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it may turn around tomorrow morning. Yeah, we could wake up and this thing could be up 5%. That wouldn't surprise me either. Literally nothing surprised me anymore. I think we might see a big drop before the 25th, just like with Volkswagen. What do you think, Tyler? They might want to short the F out of AMC to knock out the call contracts. Yeah, I definitely think that is possible. I really want to see if we can get back to 40. That's what they're really going to try to keep us away from, is that $40 strike. With 60,000 for open interest, that's 6 million shares that would have to be hedged for. Even if statistically they take about 90% of the back end because it's so profitable. If those contracts expire worthless, then they don't have to. They collect all that premium for free. If they don't, then they have to start buying the shares. So I think they're highly incentivized to keep this thing under 40 for sure. But definitely, especially once liquidity starts to dry up, that's when it's going to get really interesting. JP Morgan and Barclays firm looked me up on LinkedIn. I went to art school and just finished my MFA in motion media. There we go. Educated. I like it. Where would you put 4K now? I would 4K now, I would buy some AMC. I would buy PayPal because I think that's an easy double in 3-4 years, maybe sooner. I like SoFi. I like Affirm. Affirm's kind of more risky in my opinion though. But definitely PayPal, some AMC, SoFi, Abivi. You want to get some dividends too. It will bounce so hard if it hits 20. Yeah, I mean, that's going to just take a lot to get us to 20. Like, and there's really no news. It's just people are selling because the bond situation. The possible inverted yield curve. That's a bad situation. If the yield curve inverts, it's predicted 9 out of the 10 last recessions. Not good. That would not be good. AMC dilute the shares by 376%. Yeah. This is a good buy. ILUS. Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about it, though. I feel like a lot of... Oh, geez. It's still up, too. I was going to say most penny stocks are probably not doing so hot. Yeah, so I'll be watching if the yield curve inverts. If like a 2-year bond starts to pay more than a 10 or 20-year bond. Because that's going to be key. It's predicted 90% of the recessions. But we still got quite a bit to go. Oh, yeah, I do have a chart on. I want to get you guys the definition. Artists versus Wall Street. They definitely have been looking up apes. Yeah. Oh, they definitely have. They've been creating fake YouTube accounts. Like, I have documented that. And a lot of people, I would say like 70% of people that comment on the videos in general are new accounts. Like, what's this guy? Was it? Nope. I pinned the comment on. This guy's hilarious. More clickbait. Save yourself some time and don't watch. Like, that's it, bro. You created your account November 17th when AMC was starting to sell off. 2021. There's no way this is a real person. Like, you are funny. They do. They keep tags though. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about, dude. All the movies they show is dud except with Spider-Man. Really? I'm not sure. I mean, I know Matrix wasn't as liked as people were hoping for, but inverted yield curve. An inverted yield curve represents a situation in which long-term debt instruments have lower yields than short-term debt instruments of the same credit quality. Yeah, not good. There's some statistics here. Oh, there's a lot of recessions in here. An inverted yield curve is a strong indicator of an impending recession. Not good. But we're starting to look like we could do that. People are starting to talk about it more. So that could be a reason why things are kind of getting a little shaky, but we're not quite there yet. AMC will make a lot of money in popcorn. A needs to be making organic popcorn with plant-based butter, non-GMO. Vegans pay a lot of money for anything. They do, indeed. Everything healthy is more expensive. I'm a big fan of fruit, but man, it gets so expensive. So you are right. I have a vegan line. People like that shit. What's the floor for the squeeze? The floor for the squeeze, I mean, as what the average price target is of apes. You're deluded. Your brain is deluded. That's funny. Did the silverback stab the apes in the back? I don't think so. I don't think just from what he said about the debt covenants is really trying to hint at like raising shares or issuing shares, raising capital. I don't personally see it like that. Because I mean, if you want to get creative, we are always thinking of creative ways to make AMC's future more secure. It's not very creative issuing shares. That's like textbook. And you're gonna divide people even more. Like, I'm sure he got a ton of messages after this that said essentially, hey, don't raise shares. Don't raise capital. 1.5 Shuan. You got some shills in your chat today. Yeah, it's a great place to be. Brian H., I'm glad you're here, brother. Hope you're doing well. Shiller. Yeah, I don't even mind shills because there's never an argument. They like if anybody has any negative arguments, I can shut that down with a strong fundamental case, you know. Oh, he got clapped. Kevin Lee wants to hold something. Hold his. Yeah, he's. Did AMC let the hedge fund got away? Hell yeah. Plus insider selling. Okay, let me go out on a limb here and say that you probably lost a lot of money betting on weekly call options. Or you put way too much in calls and lost. If I had to put my money on it, that's where your situation is. I mean, because even the bear case thesis, sure, they've issued shares. It's a lot better to have more shares outstanding than to have your company go bankrupt. Like, AMC is in a much more sound financial state now, besides the debt. But people forget, $5 billion of debt, who cares as long as you can service that debt? If AMC was a declining business and next year was going to be worse than 2021, yeah, you got something to worry about. But in my opinion, I mean, they're much more efficient. So they're 30% more efficient by my own calculations than what they were in 2018, 2019. So they're going to have no problem servicing their debt and being able to issue a special dividend, roll out their popcorn business, whatever else they want to do. They have $1.3 billion more cash than they had in 2018 right now. They used to sit at like 300 million, now they have 1.6 billion. Like, that right there is substantial. You time out Kevin, he will switch to Karen. We got Karens. James Albert, what's going on, brother? Oh yeah, I remember you. I remember your guys' names when you have conversations and stuff. Damn, we were getting shills here. For the Jan run up. Yeah, there's a lot of shills. I mean, I think they all just, you know, me and shills have like an interesting relationship. You know, cuz on the one hand it's like, damn, why are you trying to divide the community? Like, you're obviously mad. But at the same time, they're paying attention to AMC. So it's like you need the shills, the haters out there, because they're the ones that FOMO buy into the stock when the stock goes from 10 to 100. You need those people. You need those people. Like, I encourage it, honestly. You don't want to see too much of it, but people that know the trade by now are not, hurt by shills and all that. I think it's funny, honestly. Very, very funny. Like, yeah, just wait till you buy it in the 50s when it's got momentum again. That's all right. Do you think that investing in indexes are good? I don't think they're bad. I I personally have a smaller amount in just indexes, but it's not something that's going to like make you super rich. Like just depending on what you want. Like people ask me, there's this girl at my work at my other job that is getting like 60,000 from an insurance settlement. I said, the first thing of any financial advisor will ask you if they're a good financial advisor is what is your goals? What do you want basically out of your life? What do you want your retirement to look like? And based off of that answer, that's how you discuss how they'll invest their money. Just depending on what you want. If you want a lot of money, if you want to make a lot of money and you have time, I guess you could do indexes and have $1 million to $3 million by the time you retire. But if you want a substantial amount, then you have to pick individual stocks. But having a cushion, of 10 to 50,000 just in indexes is like a worst case scenario. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hedge, your time is running out. Hey, we'll try to help the hedgies with more shares. Also, we'll surely sell more of his shares in coming weeks. Mark Durbin. Tell me though. When AMC goes to 50, when it opens at 30 and it goes to 50 in a day, tell me you're not going to buy it. Tell me you're going to sit on the sidelines. Please tell me right now. It's human psychology. If shills are in here, like essentially wasting their time, which I love you all. I hope you all make a lot of money, shills or not. But you're still the ones that are gonna buy the stock after it's going up. It's just it's psychology. And then just people are wrong. Like for a long time, I actually hated on Neo when it was like not $2. I think it was like $5. I would argue with people. They're like, yeah, this is the next Tesla. I'm like, dude, no, it's not. And Neo was a totally different business at the time. Then it went to, 60, 65? I ended up buying in at like 20, 30. Because, businesses can change a lot. And it's not the same situation as when they diluted the shares. AMC's a much better company now, in my opinion, than they have ever been because they're much more efficient. That's where the whole fundamental case comes from. Share will go to 145 by January 21st. I wouldn't put money on that, but it's possible. I wouldn't bag on it though. The only way I sort of see is imagine all the companies that were shorted to bankruptcy then had cures treatment for actual life-threatening diseases, and now people suffer from greedy business. That does happen. That does happen. I understand why they're so concerned with my money. Last time I checked, my birth certificate said I'm grown. That's true. Hope to see 30 to 40 again. Oh, that should be pretty easy. 21,338 shares since January, not selling until myself and all diamond-handed apes are on the frickin' moon. There we go, 21,000. There we go. Why do you think AMC going to 50? Be sensible, please. Well, what's the short thesis? What's the whole short thesis? We've heard it many times, many times. They've stopped talking about this as much because they realized their short thesis is pretty much dissolved. But the AMC will never be able to pay off their debt. They will never turn a profit ever again. What's happened over the past really 3-ish months? We've had less movies come out in 2021 than even came out in 2020. But people are going back to theaters. And they're going to make a profit. $50. I mean, on a fundamental basis, it doesn't support straight up $50. I'm not saying that. But right now, you can make a very strong case. You add the shorts and all of that, then easily could go to 50. And it's just momentum. AMC was searched more than the word stimulus check. Like, a stock to be searched more than stimulus check shows the kind of situation we're looking at here. The blatant manipulation, the failure to deliver that are thousands of times more than Apple or Tesla or any of those other stocks. I mean, there's honestly so much you could say. Just the efficiency of the business. I could pull up the financial statements right. I'll do it. You got me pulling up financials and talking boring numbers, but we got this. Look, the whole short thesis case is done right here. Watch this. So 2018, we made $110 million net profit, right? Cost of revenue, it cost AMC, round numbers here, $4.5 billion to generate $5.5 billion of operating revenue. The amount of money they brought in cost them $4.5 billion to make that $1 billion difference. So that's essentially your gross profit. After everything else, after taxes, everything else they had to pay, they ended up walking away with 10% of that. Now, for 2021, they didn't open until, later into the year, I believe May. I don't remember the exact week or day theaters opened in general. But it cost them $1.7 billion cost of revenue. Add another, $300-400 million on top of that for the fourth quarter. Maybe more than that. Who cares what you add for the fourth quarter? You're going to be around, 2.3 on the high end. That's $500 million added. About $2.3 billion. That's even a full year being open. You're going to be at a cost of revenue, in my opinion, in between $3 and $3.3 billion. They're estimated on the high end to bring in $5 billion of revenue. I think it could be higher than that. We have so many hit movies coming out. It's actually ridiculous. The backlog of hit movies coming out in 2022 is crazy. So if they bring in, say, $5 billion, and they're only spending $3.3 billion to bring in that revenue, they're essentially making, $1.8 billion extra? Maybe my math was wrong there. But a substantial increase to what they were doing in 2018, 2019, because they've shut down bad stores. They've cut costs every way they could. They've done a lot of these things to make it cheaper to acquire the same amount of revenue. That's where the profit margins come in. That's really, the short thesis is done at that point. That's not even including anything else. And then if they bring in, say, $200 or $300 million of profit, what's it cost to do a special dividend or something along those lines? Right? 513. And when they do special dividends, short sellers, they have to pay that dividend to the rightful owner of the stock. Let's just, $1 would be 500 million. So I wouldn't expect anything like that. Let's say 30 cents, right? Oh, shit. I'm not the greatest at math here, but 0.30. 153 million. If they brought in $300 million of net profit to the bottom line and they have $1.6 billion in cash, I don't think it would be impossible to do a 25-cent special dividend or a 30-cent special dividend. Now imagine all of the synthetic shares that are out there, all of the people that are rightful owners to that dividend. It's a wrap. It's done at that point. Yeah, female and pay off that debt too. Yeah, pay off debt. They could do so much. And AMC has the chance to reinvent the business. Right, most expensive popcorn in the world, AMC. Yeah. I mean, then they'll bring that into theaters, and that's not even including that. They were talking about doing AMC credit cards. I don't know how much faith I would put on that. Anything's possible. There's things that we haven't even thought of that they could do with that kind of extra money. Because that's just straight into their bank account. That net profit number, that's after everything. And see, this is why it's so important, the efficiency of the business. Take a look at these two numbers, right? 2018, right there, 2019 right here. The operating revenue was almost exactly the same. They only made $11 million more in 2019 than they did in 2018. But what happened to the cost of revenue? It went up over $200 million. I don't know for what reason. Haven't looked into it that much. Doesn't really matter. But that was the difference between them posting a loss compared to what would have been a profit. It's very obvious to see, especially comparing 2018, 2019, because the numbers are so similar. Yeah, and popcorn's such a cheap thing to produce. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be very exciting. And if there's so much I could say, but long story short, shills, I love you. I love all you. I hope you do well in your personal lives. But if you feel so bad about it, short AMC and see where it gets you. I wouldn't short AMC if it for nothing. Yeah, yeah. Don't forget lower expenses. If refinancing means lowering interest payments. Exactly, exactly. Cause that's less they have to pay out. It doesn't really matter the debt. That's like a mortgage. You could have $100,000 house. If you have to pay $500 for the mortgage, what's it matter if you owe $100,000 if you can pay the mortgage every month for 30 years? Which it's a lot different with corporate debt, but you know what I'm saying? It will go down to the single digits again. TADD means nothing. They do what they want. Buy as many as you want means nothing. Definitely disagree. I mean, that's just so what? They just manipulate the stock as much as they want. Sure, they do, right? When there is so much going on, when there's so much shares trading hands, it's way harder to manipulate the stock in a substantial way. Because just say they're manipulating 1% of the orders, and that's probably on the really low side. If they're manipulating 1% of the orders and we're only seeing 20 million shares that are trading hands, it's a lot easier to get away with that. And it's going to do more to the price of the stock because there's not as many orders. Once you start to see even 50 million shares that trade hands or 80 million, even that same 1%, which they wouldn't be able to do because it's going to show up a lot easier, but because it's a higher amount of shares that they would be manipulating, but it wouldn't affect us as much as seeing this low volume. So, I mean, either way you put it, it's there's a lot supporting AMC right now. But I get those comments all the time, like technical analysis doesn't matter, fundamentals don't matter. I'm like, nothing matters. You win, nothing matters. Just we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because I already know what's gonna happen. I mean, you, me, and most of you guys already know what's gonna happen. It's no secret. What is Orville's profit margins? Oh, that's a good one. I'm curious. Interesting things like that, random things are like very interesting. But I believe the popcorn business is like 80 to 90% in general. Are they public though? Yeah, popcorn is a non-nostalgic and delicious treat for customers that can boast profit margins of 80 to 90%. Revenue 2020 154.4 million. Private label also had a good year with sales 15.8% to 134.5 million. So almost 300 million with a 80% profit margin. That's insane. That's ridiculous. What? That's 240 million straight profit. Be conservative, 200 million profit. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine if AMC was doing those kind of numbers, which I think they would, honestly. Because are you going to pick Orville or are you going to pick AMC? As long as the product's good. That's the thing. That first impression, very important. Jeez. Popcorn's insane. I kind of want to get in the popcorn business now. What do you think about the micro cap cryptocurrency market? Ooh, great question. I'm very sketchy about low cap cryptos. I think like the top 20 cryptos are going to be your safer companies. Not to say you will or you know, you will make money or you won't lose money, just to say that they've probably been around longer, all of that. Once you start to get into the micro, the small cryptos, you just really have to be careful. Like Squid Coin, that started to blow up. That was over a $2 billion market cap. Went up, straight back down. And there's nothing. It's anonymous. Like that's the reason for crypto. So they'll never find who did that with Squid Coin, and they walked away with $2 billion. Me personally, if you want to put $100 or 200, whatever you could afford to lose, like going to the casino, you walk in there with 300 or whatever, however much you walk in there with, hey, I'm probably going to lose this money, and you're okay with losing it. That's how I would look at it. And if it goes crazy, you could make thousands, but and 12, so I have to go to bed, but AMC to the moon? Oh, geez. Are you, like, rich? You just said you had 21,000 shares. You're 12? Man, who are you related to? I like them already. Good night, though, Todd. Do good in school, man. If you got school. I think kids are going back to school, aren't they? We go into 16. Oh, that would be tough. That would be tough. I mean, definitely not tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow. I mean, I don't personally think so. I think breaking under 20, you're going to need some kind of market event or something. Bad news, anything like that to really send this thing down lower. Because we were in the midst of, Omicron fears and China and everything else back here. And, tax loss harvesting, that was huge. And only fell to 20 and found a lot of support around 20. So that would be like my, bottom to say. End of the month prediction. I mean, I think 60 by end of January, if not February, is realistic. Because eventually, hedge funds, they're going to start positioning their money into these beaten down stocks. Like even PayPal, guys. PayPal. Like nothing has changed with that business. It's went from 300 to 180. And sure, interest rates are going up. PayPal doesn't rely on borrowing a ton of money or getting a lot of debt. They make money. They're profitable. Companies are just getting beaten into the ground. So like once it starts, everybody piles on until nobody wants to pile on and everybody piles out. That's what I'm thinking. Low amounts, maybe 10, but you got to stay on top of trades. At this stage, AMC should start making their own recliners and movies. Yeah. Movies are interesting. They just take a lot to make. AMC's not going to 16. I don't care where that talk come from. Buying pressure will come in like crazy before 16. Yeah, exactly. I mean, even around 20 or 22, 21, I feel like there would be a lot of buying pressure coming in. Squeeze and falls after hours. Most of us trade between 9:30 and 4. I don't think it would be like a straight up, straight down situation. Could be, but I that would be like one of a kind, and I don't think there's anything really in history to like support that would be the case. I think it's just gonna be a stair step. We're gonna get a move up, chill out, get another move up. I think that's the most logical thing. I totally could be wrong though, but Asia's top risk in 2022 will be the U.S.-China tensions over Taiwan, says political risk. Oh, man. Jeez. Just let Taiwan be. That could collapse things. If, like, war or a Cold War situation started, that wouldn't be good either. Mary Moass. Oh, my gosh. I should have thought about that. That would have been a great title. Mary Moas. Kind of clickbaity, but money making Tone has to clock in for his nightly shilling. Oh, I think he was just saying. Somebody said it was going to 16. Did us shareholders receive that free NFT that Adam Aaron talked about in December? I have not got an email about it yet. I believe it. You were supposed to get an email, right? And then like be able to get it through the email. I have not gotten an email. I believe it had said January to February, I believe. Is this all that he said about it, though? Yeah. All self-identified AMC shareholders who are members of AMC Investor Connect and those who enroll by 12/31 will receive an NFT. Huh. I seen it. It was I thought they said something about January. I want it. I'm holding them accountable for that, though. Like, man, where's my NFT? Yeah. I own AMC NFT 1 per member. Details regarding the NFT, including redemption instructions, will be sent to each recipient via email by the end of January 2022. Yup. So January 2022. Surprising they didn't put like an actual date on it, though. You'd think they would have. Interesting. Do you think it's going to 40 this month? How many hands say yeah? I think by the end of the month, it's more likely than not. Because, I mean, before the real fundamental news starts to come, you don't want to be in a short position. My opinion. My opinion could be wrong. Rentec still holding exactly. Yeah. The best performing hedge funds of all time. Or that's Renaissance, I believe. But they increase their position by what, like 300% or something? This hit 60 and I am out. Dang. Yeah, I haven't seen an email yet. Not selling until I see 8K per share. I didn't get an email and I was an early Investor Connect member. We need term limits on senators. Get rid of some of these dinosaurs. I do think we need terms on senators. AMC cannot go that low. If it was to go that low, everyone that bought high will buy the dip to lower their average. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Definitely. In June, when AMC went to 72, the short interest dropped from 20 to 14%. I don't even like calling that a short squeeze. Like, I might have in videos before, but it's not like that's not a short squeeze. Until you go down to like low levels, like a 3%, 3% short interest, even 5% short interest. Fair enough, but that first 5% of shorts covering, or first 5% short interest, that's gonna do the least amount of damage. Once you start to get down, to the lower levels, like 14% to like 10% would have done a lot of damage, or 14% to like 8% would have done a lot of damage. Like hedge funds you'd have seen a lot more funds go out. Yes, I got very down when it went to 20. These videos helped me out a lot during that time. There we go. Yeah, try, if you get comfortable with like the fundamental case and like your worst case scenario, I think it's pretty, it's not as nerve-wracking. And over the years too, it'll get better with like emotions, because you never really know what's going to happen, but if like your worst case scenario, it's a lot easier. Can you compare to GME short interest on Ortex? In your opinion, is that short squeeze play over? Um, I don't think GameStop's over either, just because their float is so small too. But they also, have a lot less attention in my opinion. And that's a big factor of it. 14.59%. They're pretty much in the same boat as AMC. If you do take a look at, oh shit, what did I do? Damn it. Didn't mean to do that. Like the days to cover too, yeah, like GameStop's looking really good too. Days to cover before they shot up to, 300, 350, 400 I think at the peak. The days to cover was at like 5 days to cover. It shoots straight down, goes to those low levels, and then it's been climbing ever since. So now we're back to, 4.4 days to cover, back up to those levels. Eventually the days to cover is going to go down and the price is going to shoot back up. That's the same thing for AMC too. Same exact situation. It's about 1,500 positions in Chinese companies. I feel that hype behind Evergrande is planned. Ooh, that would be interesting. Yeah, because if they fully hedge out, I mean, that's like what happened in The Big Short, where if you guys have seen that movie, Michael Burry had all those short positions, and the bank once shit started to hit the fan, they didn't want to accurately mark them at the right price until the bank had their own short positions, and then they accurately priced them. Like, yeah, the banks are always going to do whatever they can to protect themselves. What's with the political comments all of a sudden? You guys are funny. If they wanted to cover, they would have covered at 20. Yeah, that's the honest truth. I don't know why they didn't. That was like stupid of them. Nancy never held AMC. Her husband invested in an index that had AMC. And thank you. Finally, somebody says it. Somebody said it. I mean, if he invested in AMC, that would be a big deal. But yeah, people. That's the shit I'm talking about. Like, that's clickbait. Like the people that made those videos about Nancy invested in AMC knew damn well she didn't buy AMC. Her husband didn't buy AMC. That's like saying, AMC has a 50% short interest right now, when it's likely higher than that. But I'm just talking out of my ass because I don't have any proof of that. It's like a third party. Like the IWM has 50% short interest, but it's only 0.6% AMC, which I think AMC short interest is likely much higher. Pelosi, well, her husband owns a fund or like an index, I'm not sure exactly which one, that has AMC in it. So technically they do own AMC, a very small amount. But it's not like a Pelosi trade that has outdone the S&P 500 by quite a bit over the years. What happens when we do not sell? Once you do start to see like the shills that are in the comment section, once you start to see shorts covering, funds buying the stock, which we have been seeing, but we've had a lot of shorting too. Once those things start to come together, that's when you're going to actually see the price of the stock go crazy. And if you hold, it just makes it that much better. My family worked with Hillary Clinton. Y'all want fact on the most classified info? Get to me. I wouldn't doubt it. Hillary was as crooked as they come. Thank you, amigo, for your insight. Thank you, brother. Solid squeeze. Tons of people coming back to theaters, and they're over spring and summer to improve the stock company's outlook overall pending COVID. Yeah, it's looking really good. Q4 earnings come out in March, fireworks month, or crash. I think it'll be good. I mean, Q4 is going to be important, but it's not going to be as important as when they're free cash flow positive, which they could be. They could announce that. they didn't hit their numbers that they needed to for domestic box office. They were about 1 billion off. But it's possible more people went to AMC and they did somehow manage to be free cash flow positive. That's a higher short interest than what the Ortex status says. Yeah, I have zero faith in the info that we are given. We're fighting for market fairness for all participants. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too, is making a point, making a statement. And the SEC, man, they know what's going on. Why do you think they're so quiet? It's such a big situation. They can't even come out and say likely what they would say if it wasn't a terrible situation for so many hedge funds. I watched Big Short and Margin Call. I was studying for a final. Are there any others you'd recommend? I actually just watched Margin Call not too long ago. I've heard Boiler Room is a good one too, but I have not seen it. I might actually watch that tonight. Margin Call, Big Short, like The Wolf of Wall Street, stuff like that. That's not as informational. That's my favorite movie of all time, though. Not too many others. Wall Street movies never did very well, so they only made a couple good ones. I think Wolf of Wall Street did the best. What was Wolf of Wall Street's box office? Like Margin Call? I think Margin Call did decent, like decent in the sense of like 30 million at the box office. Yeah, 392 million. So that, you know, that did better than a lot of other ones. Like, and I really liked Margin Call. I was surprised to see 19.5 million, but even higher Rotten Tomatoes score than Margin Call. The Big Short did good too, 133.4 million. Wall Street. Money Never Sleeps. Yeah, I wanted to watch that one too. I seen that on Amazon Prime. Oh, where's my Shia LaBeouf person? There was somebody that used to comment on all of my videos, Shia LaBeouf, and I didn't even know what they were talking about. My last name's LaBelle, so I'm like, do they know me somehow? I'm like, that's weird. And then my daughter's mom, she was like, Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, who is that? And I had to look it up. That one is real good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have to watch that. It looks like a gangster movie though, off just the front. Interesting. Inside Job. I wonder if that's good. George Soros is in it. Jeez. $2 million budget. That's crazy compared to like Red Notice that had like a $250 million budget that just came out. Jeez. How old are you, Tyler? I'm 22, almost 23. Started investing though before I was 18. And I mean, when you're passionate about something, you learn, you know, you set out to learn as much as you can, as fast as you can. Sierra the Noob, the first super chat. $1.99, baby. Appreciate your blessings. Appreciate your blessings. Bless all you guys that are in here. Much appreciated. Oh, somebody subscribe, or was that the super chat? Sadly, too many people won't make it, but that's the reality. Probably. I mean, I hope people do. Got his Twitter. Yeah, it's linked in it might be linked in the description of this. You should find it just looking up the creative investor. Started from the bottom, how I get here. That's a risk management. I focus on a 10-year. All that matters was that when patient till I get here. I'ma do this till I'm dead. I hope I'm making this clear. What are your thoughts on penny stocks, PROG/BBIG? I think they're good trades when there's momentum, but not something that I would really want to hold. Like, I don't really have a budget in the sense of like what I allocate where. Like, I have a mental budget, not a number budget. So if I usually I'll do like 80% growth, 20% dividend, and then like 5% for like longer term options and a couple $100 here and there for other trades. But like a vast majority of my money goes into companies that I can see being bigger into the future, because that's all investing really has to be. Is, hey, like, look around you. What do you think is going to be bigger 5 to 10 years from now? And some are simple to see, some are harder, but Sierra the Noob, again, hope you're having a great day. I watch your videos every day. Well, thank you, Sierra the Noob. The Noob. That's interesting. Much love. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. I'm going to get my happy ass out of here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Your night. If you guys want to watch a video that will change your outlook on life and help you with your investment journey, that changed my life as the second that I seen it. Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret in the World. Let me hip you on something. If you're serious about your future and investing, you will watch this video, even though it sounds like your great-great-great-grandfather made it.
Natural philosophy.
This right here. I know
It gave us some natural laws of physics, which apply.
Not so, great, but this will change your life. This will change your life. Change my life. I have faith it will change yours too. So check that out if you guys want to. I'm going to get my happy ass out of here. Go watch probably The Boiler Room, or what's this movie? Wall Street. Money Never Sleeps. All right. Yeah, I'm probably going to watch that movie. But, oh, super chat alert. Will you be doing a video on exit strategy once the MOAS hits? Oh, of course. Of course. That'll be a key video. A key video. I've done videos like it before. It's interesting. Just like a quick version, I would let's say you had shares at $10. If you could sell a couple shares, like a small amount of shares, to get your initial investment back at whatever price you're comfortable at, then that's probably, what I would do. Is not sell everything at once, or not sell half, because you want as much exposure as possible when you're still going up, but you also want to make sure you at least get your money back. So like, I wouldn't do that at like 50, couple hundred, whatever, you think it can reasonably go to. That's what I would probably do. Let's just go to 200. We'll be happy. Price tier targets. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have like price tier targets. I think 5,000 is like reasonable, considering everything. If we get the gamma squeeze, the short squeeze, some kind of catalyst, these things come together, very reasonable. Videos and strategies. So much hate for being realistic. 200. I'm retiring, and yeah. I don't have anything, against Lou. Lou's cool. Lou's funny. I'm just not a huge personal fan of like hearing things and not being able to like Google search if it's true or not. Like, I could say anything I want. If there's no way to verify it, then there's no way to confirm it's true or not. That's the only thing I got against it. I don't like to say anything to you guys that that you couldn't search up and find the answer to on your own. Yeah, I mean, 500, 800. I think people in the grand scope of things would still be happy with that. Like, I don't think people would be like, dang, it only went to 500. Like, I didn't make anything. Like, I don't think people would be like that, but I think it could certainly go, higher than that. Yeah, it's the whole trust me, bro. I don't like to do that because I like to expand on solid knowledge. Like, there's always that room for like, hey, I know this is happening. I don't know to what extent this is happening. We know it's happening though. But if you start, especially when you're a newer investor, and you think these, I don't want to use conspiracy theories. They're not like conspiracy theories, but it's not provable. If you build your foundation on bad information or non-verifiable information, it can really mess you up further down your investment journey. Like, I know people today, one of my coworkers, that I don't know where he learned this shit from, who he watched, but he'll say some stuff that just make no sense to me. And it always turns out wrong. It's because it's like a house. You can't build a house on a sand foundation. At least one. I've never heard of that. You know, rains a couple times, your house is going to tumble over. If you build it on concrete and you're solid in your foundation, that's what matters. And I think a lot of people are trying to build their foundation right now. You know, and that's a great analogy too. Think about it. Just build a solid foundation. All right. I could talk forever. I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, all of you people. Yeah, that's all. See you guys later. Probably let the dog out now.